Welcome back to the deep dive. So you've done it. You've refreshed the whole brand identity. You've got the perfect new domain. It's shorter, it's punchier. Maybe it just fits the global vision.
It's an exciting moment.
It really is a future-focused moment for the business. But then, that cold fear starts to creep in.
Oh, yeah.
The fear that as soon as you flip that switch, years of hard-won SEO authority, traffic, all of it, is just going to fall off a cliff.
And that's exactly what we're here to talk about.
Mhm.
A major website domain migration.
Right. And our mission today is to give you the exact blueprint to prevent that disaster and carry your digital history forward.
And we have to start by correcting it's just a fundamental misunderstanding right away.
Okay.
A domain change is not a cosmetic update. It's not like changing your logo colors.
Not at all.
It is a structural alteration. I mean, this is a high-stakes business initiative. You're transferring a hugely valuable digital asset.
That distinction is so vital. We think in terms of branding and design. But search engines, they just think continuity, structure, and, code.
Precisely. And the disconnect happens when a business sees this as a chance for a clean slate.
To wipe the slate clean. I've heard that phrase so many times.
It is arguably the single most expensive mistake a business can make in this area. You are voluntarily discarding years of authority.
And what does that actually lead to?
It almost always results in traffic drops that last for months and lost rankings that, frankly, you might never fully recover. You're throwing away a digital inheritance.
Wow. Okay, so that makes the stakes crystal clear. If we strip away all the marketing talk, what is Google actually doing? What's the audit it's running?
Google just needs clarity on 3 critical points. Get any of these wrong, and the whole thing stalls.
Yeah, what's the first one?
First, is this the same business, or is it a different one? We call that entity continuity.
So who are you, really?
Exactly. Second, do the old pages still exist, just somewhere else? That's URL continuity. Every old address needs a new one.
A forwarding address for every single page.
Every single one.
Yeah.
And third, should we even transfer the authority from the old domain? That's trust and justification.
We have to prove it's a legitimate move.
You have to justify it with perfect continuity.
So we're not fighting an algorithm here. We're just giving it a really clear, precise set of instructions so it feels safe making the transfer.
That is the mission statement. The real enemy of a migration is ambiguity. Our plan is designed to eliminate it.
Okay, let's unpack that plan. Let's start with the groundwork in phase 1, pre-migration planning.
Yes. Success or failure is decided long before the new site ever launches.
It's all in the prep.
All in the prep. And that starts with establishing a complete URL inventory. This is your ground truth.
Okay, and here's where I think a lot of people fall down. The first instinct is to go to Google Search Console, GSC, and just download the list of indexed URLs. Why is that a mistake?
It's a dangerous mistake.
Yeah.
Because GSC shows you what Google knows about today.
Right, what it's recently indexed.
Exactly. Which means it has guaranteed blind spots that become these huge, unredirected potholes after you migrate.
What kind of blind spots are we talking about?
Specifically what we call orphaned URLs. These are pages that maybe aren't linked internally anymore, but they could have earned dozens of incredibly valuable backlinks over the years.
Oh, wow. So they're just sitting out there carrying all this link equity, but GSC doesn't see them as core pages anymore.
And if you don't identify them, that authority it evaporates. Gone. You also miss things like recently de-indexed pages or even non-HTML assets. Think of old PDFs, media files, things that rank on their own.
So you can't just rely on GSC.
You have to run a full, comprehensive crawl of the old domain. Use a tool like Screaming Frog or Sitebulb. You have to capture every single URL you can find.
That inventory is the real starting point then. Once we have that exhaustive list, what's next?
Now comes the, let's be honest, the tedious part, mapping old URLs to new destinations.
And the gold standard here is a 1-to-1 match, right? Old page A goes directly to new page A.
That's the dream scenario.
Yeah.
It's the clearest continuity signal you possibly can.
But let's talk about the big mistake. The one that feels easy but is so damaging. The mass redirect to the homepage.
Yes. Just point them all to the homepage strategy.
It seems efficient.
Yeah.
If you're retiring 500 old blog posts, why is that so bad?
Because you completely break the relevance chain. Remember, Google is looking for justification.
Okay.
If a super specific old post about advanced widget maintenance suddenly points to your generic homepage, Google sees that and says, there's no topical continuity here.
It's irrelevant.
It signals irrelevance. So instead of passing the link equity, Google just discards it.
Yeah.
The transfer is nullified.
You're telling the engine that years of authority on that topic just don't matter anymore?
Precisely.
Yep.
So that comprehensive redirect, map old URL, new destination 301 type, that is the single most important document of this entire phase.
Get that right or nothing else matters.
Exactly. Okay, map in hand, let's move to phase 2. Technical execution. Now we build the bridge.
This is where that technical precision is it's everything. Let's start with the redirects themselves. What are the golden rules?
Rule number 1, and this is non-negotiable, server-side 301 redirects.
Exclusively.
Why not a 302 or a JavaScript redirect?
Because you're signaling uncertainty. A 302 literally means found, as in found temporarily somewhere else. It says, I might move back.
And Google hesitates?
It hesitates, or it just refuses to pass the authority. You need the permanent, unambiguous signal of a 301.
Okay, what about redirect chains? I've heard those are a nightmare.
They are. The one-hop rule is essential. Old URL directly to new URL. One hop.
What happens if you have a chain?
Google has to spend its crawl budget tracing this inefficient path. Every extra hop dilutes the signal and slows the whole process down.
So you're just wasting Google's time.
You are. And longevity.
Mm-hmm.
How long do these have to stay up?
That's a great question.
At least 12 months. Honestly, for a big site, I'd say even longer.
And if you take them down too soon? It's one of the fastest ways to reverse a successful migration. You're pulling the bridge out while the traffic is still trying to cross.
Okay, so 301s, single hop, long life. Now for the alignment layer. This is where those conflicting signals come in, right? Starting with the canonical tag.
This is the killer error. I've seen this stall migrations for months.
Wow.
Every single page on the new domain must have a self-referencing canonical tag. It has to point to itself.
And the mistake is?
The dev team copies over the old site templates, and the canonical tags still point back to the old domain.
Wait, so the 301 redirect says, I've moved permanently to this new address.
Yep.
But the canonical tag on the new page says, but the real official version is back at the old address.
That's it. You've created a direct contradiction. You're forcing Google to just hedge its bets, and authority consolidation grinds to a halt.
Okay, that makes perfect sense. And what about internal links? You said we can't rely on our redirects for the internal structure.
Right. They work for external signals like backlinks. But internally, it's just lazy.
Lazy and expensive.
It's expensive in terms of crawl budget. Every internal link navigation, footers, in-content links has to point directly to the new URL. Don't make Google follow a redirect inside your own house.
Got it. And we also have to update the site's digital ID, the schema markup.
Yes. Schema is a high-trust signal. It reinforces your entity. If your schema for your organization or your local business still has old URLs in it, that's another mixed signal.
So check everything.
Meticulously audit it all, especially the same A's links that point to your social profiles.
Okay, once all that plumbing is perfect, we have to make the formal declaration in Search Console.
This is the official notice. First, verify the new domain as a separate property.
And do not delete the old one. Right.
Crucially, do not delete the old GSC property. Google needs to see both ends in the move. Then, submit new sitemaps with only 200 status OK URLs to the new property.
And never put redirected URLs in a sitemap.
Never. Sitemaps are for discovery of active pages. And only then, after everything is live and verified, do you use the change of address tool in the old property settings.
And that tool just reinforces the move. It doesn't replace the redirects.
It reinforces, it does not replace.
Okay, on to phase 3. External signal reinforcement. The internal structure is perfect, but now the rest of the world has to confirm the move.
Exactly. Google gains confidence when other authoritative sources agree with you.
Where do we start?
For any local business, this is non-negotiable. Immediately update the website URL in your Google Business Profile, your GBP.
That's the biggest real-world signal.
It is. A mismatch there throws your entity continuity right into doubt.
And beyond GBP, where do we focus? We can't change every single backlink.
No, so you prioritize the high-authority profiles, the ones with outsized trust weight.
Like what?
Bing Places, Apple Maps, Facebook, LinkedIn, Yelp, the BBB, and your most important industry directories. You're creating a consistent footprint.
And for backlinks?
You can do some targeted outreach for your highest authority, highest traffic links. A direct link is always the strongest signal, even though the 301s do most of the heavy lifting.
Okay, let's talk about something that causes so much panic. The non-SEO drop.
Ah, yes.
The moment the analytics chart shows traffic has fallen off a cliff, but the rankings are actually fine.
This is a classic misdiagnosis. It's not a traffic drop, it's a tracking loss.
Because they forgot to update the analytics.
They forgot to update their architecture. You have to update the default URL in your GA4 property settings. You have to check Google Tag Manager for hard-coded old URLs.
And conversion tracking.
Yes. If your forms or call tracking are tied to the old domain, your leads will go to zero and everyone panics.
So you make bad decisions based on bad data.
And potentially undo all the good work you just did. And please, annotate the migration date in your analytics. It gives you a clear baseline.
Good tip. Any way to speed things up once we're stable.
You can strategically request indexing for your highest priority pages, your home page, your core service pages, using the URL inspection tool in the new GSC. It can help shorten that initial lag.
Okay, final phase. Monitoring and troubleshooting. We know there's going to be volatility. So how do we tell the difference between normal bumps in the road and a real failure?
This is all about disciplined observation. Don't panic.
What's normal?
Normal is ranking shuffles, some temporary drops, maybe indexation is slow for low-priority pages. That's all expected.
And what's a red flag?
A red flag is index pages dropping fast without being replaced. Or your redirects are suddenly returning 404 errors. Or, and this is the big one, traffic is still declining steadily after 8 to 10 weeks.
In those first few weeks, what is the one single metric we should be watching every day?
You should definitely monitor the GSE pages report for errors like duplicate canonical issues.
Right.
But the single most critical immediate indicator is branded query performance.
Traffic for your own company name.
Your company name, your product names. If that traffic takes a hard, sustained drop, you have a severe failure in your core signals, your redirects, your canonicals, your GBP.
Because if Google is confused about where your brand actually lives, that's a 5-alarm fire.
That is the rule of thumb. If branded traffic is stable, you're probably okay. Non-branded dips need patience. Branded dips need immediate crisis intervention.
And what are the panic-driven mistakes people make in this phase?
They remove the redirects too soon. Don't do that. Keep them for at least a year.
Okay.
They use the URL removal tool to try and force the old pages out of the index. The 301s will handle that. Let them work.
Right.
And the big one, they start making major content or structural changes mid-migration. That just reintroduces uncertainty and resets Google's whole evaluation clock.
So just be patient. Let the system work. What's a realistic recovery timeline?
You should prepare everyone for short-term volatility. The first few days and weeks will be bumpy.
And then?
Midterm, say 2 to 8 weeks, you should see a steady replacement of old URLs with new ones in the index. Traffic should stabilize.
And long-term?
Long-term, you're looking at 2 to 6 months, maybe even longer for a huge site, to see full authority consolidation and for rankings to return to where they were. It's a marathon.
That brings us to the end of the roadmap. This whole process, it's not about clever tricks or hacks, is it?
No, not at all. It's about discipline, consistency, and restraint. You are telling one clear, unambiguous story to the search engine.
When you eliminate that uncertainty, you get continuity.
That's the reward.
A rebrand should strengthen your business, not erase its digital footprint. This process is a translation of authority, not an erasure of history. Process beats tools every time.
And here's the final thought I'd leave you with. You already earned that authority over years of work. The biggest SEO risk during a migration isn't the temporary ranking dip. That's just a cost of doing business. The real permanent cost is having to re-earn years of history that you voluntarily threw away because of ambiguity and conflicting signals. Go forth and eliminate uncertainty.